You're welcome for the time. It's my pleasure.
Thank you.
I love talking about Songversation because for me it's the most fulfilling album I've made. I can't call it the best. Best is relative to the listener. But for me, it is the most fulfilling album I've ever made. So I love talking about it. And I think that what I do as a songwriter and what I do as an artist is my goal is to communicate. Communicate my opinions and my ideals, and sometimes I think I'm communicating what I deem to be the fundamental spiritual ideals, like be kind to your neighbor, love children, work hard to save the planet, those fundamental concepts.
Yeah.
So as a person who, I feel that my sweet spot in life is to communicate through music, and also on stage, what I really love to do, I make records just so that I can sing them in front of people.
Yeah.
So my favorite thing to do is to sing the songs that I write on stage, and my natural place is to fellowship with people through music as a songwriter and as a performer, and that is what a songversation is.
Yeah.
Not just the music; it's communicating through the music, and also there is a world music element, and so all the Middle Eastern stuff that you hear on there is not sequels, it's real live musicians from Turkey, from Istanbul, and I was blessed to be able to partner with Turkey's biggest star. She's their most important musician as well. Her name is Sezen Aksu. So she helped me to achieve that goal of blending a Western approach with the more Middle Eastern approach and being able to blend them. And I credit her a lot with it being natural sounding. She helped me figure out how to make it sound natural. So there's that songversation happening between the West and the East, and between myself and Sezen Aksu, and between myself and the audience. So the whole thing as in action is a songversation. And so that's why it's called that.
It's the albums, I can't help but say how much needed in the musical climate was the album. I mean, I played it through from start to finish, and I've always wondered, India, you really are an icon for the right reasons. How do you get so much depth into your music? Because it's not soulless music. It's just it's so it's indescribable. But the way that you're able to keep on churning out such content, how do you replenish that? How do you deliver such songs of depth and magnitude?
I'm hesitating because answering your question will then be like I'm complimenting myself, because I deem that to be the highest compliment that anyone could ever pay me as an artist. So thank you. And if what you're saying is true.
Absolutely. It's absolutely true.
I think I don't exactly maybe have an answer for that. I think it's the kind of person I am. I don't reach to make songs with spiritual depth. I do that because it's how I see. I think it is the most beautiful part of being an artist, that you can dive really deep into wherever you want to dive into. You can dive really deep and bring it back and put it into a tangible form.
Right.
That is what it means to be an artist, to make something intangible tangible.
Right.
For me, the fact that I dive into that spiritual pool, and that's where I source from, for me, I think it's just who I am. Just, from my ancestry. It's just who I am, how I see things. And I guess there is another aspect to it, too, because I've been in the music industry for 15 years now. This is my 5th album. And very quickly, from my first album, I saw my ideals of the power of music quickly move from an ideal to a reality.
Right.
I see how it can really shape people in any shape. It shapes people. And so it gave me that desire to continue to do it the way that I do. And I also live my life, I have certain spiritual commitments that I've made to just continue to grow and to be the best person I can and to be real with myself about where I am in my life and what needs to be done. And, I just try to be as real with myself as I can about who I am and where I want to be. And so I'm always working on myself, and I think that comes across in my music, too. I'm always working on myself. And I don't know why. I think that goes back to not really having an answer. I think it's just how I am.
Do you know it?
Sourcing from that spiritual pool, I think is just how I am. I don't know. Answers that question.
Could you please break down for us the track on the album, I Am Light?
Oh. I Am Light is... I listen to I Am Light like it's someone else's song. I play it every day. And I never have done that with any of my music, ever, unless I'm working on it. If I'm working on it, then I play it 100 times a day. But once it's done, I put it away, and it's for, I give it away.
Yep.
And I Am Light is special to me because I have someone who's really special in my life, elder woman, and she had colon cancer. And she had to get hip replacement surgery because her bones were eaten away from the medication, her hip bones.
Wow. And
while she was in recovery, she said, I want to urge you to write songs for people that are in healing. And she knows me very well. And my mission statement is to spread love, healing, peace, and joy through the power of words and music.
Right.
So she said to me, I know that healing is part of your intention with your music, and it has been since you were very young. But she said, I'm talking about from a different perspective, somebody who's really having a healing crisis. I would urge you to write music for them. And her exact words were, because this pain is like wow. That's what she said.
Oh, correct. Wow.
And I love her so much that I thought about that all day. And I thought, what would I do if I really were just writing music for someone who was in a healing crisis? And like I said, because I love her so much, I thought about it all day. And in my prayer time, I sing a lot. I sing all the time. Singers sing. Anybody who's ever been around a singer, that we sing all the time.
Yeah.
In the kitchen, and we sing all the time. And so in my prayer time, I sing in that place too. And when I sing in my prayer time, it's never trying to sound good or to rhyme or to impress anyone or to be released on the radio. I'm just singing for the pure joy of singing, the pure joy of it. And I thought I should just record some of those things that I sing in at the most pure time in my life, which is my prayer life. And so I just recorded it on my laptop. I did 6 songs for her, and they were all just that prayer time singing.
Yeah.
Sometimes it rhymes, and sometimes it doesn't, and it just comes out, and I don't record it. I just let it go into the ethers, and it's over. It's a prayer. And so I decided to record some of those for her, and I Am Light ended up being one of those songs. And something so profound came from it because I didn't think of it this way because, things can always be worse. Mm-hmm. I was going through my own healing crisis, but it was nothing like hers. I was having some health issues, and I saw how much those songs made me feel calm, and it made me feel like accepting of myself, and it made my anxiety calm down about my health issues. It just made me feel calm, and I think that from that calm place, it gives your body time to heal when you're not actively using your brain to think about the worst outcome.
Right, very true.
Your body time to heal. So even for 3 minutes, you feel that sense of peace and acceptance of yourself. And, when you get those glimpses that everything's always going to be okay, then they go away. For me, I think that that's what those songs do. That's what they do for me. And so one of those songs is I Am Light.
Right.
And another one of those songs is Sober Rise. I wrote those for her. And then in hindsight, I realized I wrote them for me. And then I realized that I wrote them for anybody who needs to be reminded of who they really are.
Absolutely.
Who they are, not, what they look like or their challenges or how they measure up to the media ideals of beauty, but who you really are. We all really are our soul.
Yeah.
So I think that those songs are there to remind people of the beauty, their true beauty, the true beauty of every human being. And that's what they do for me. And I love that people are talking about I Am Light so much on my social media because I kind of put that on there just for me.